So welcome. This is an exciting day for us all. This is when we get to meet our cover-up act for 2020. So I would really like you to give a warm welcome to, well, 3 members. There is 4. Dan is currently grafting hard, so can we give Bikini Body a warm welcome, please, for this Q&A for 2020? How we're going to operate this Q&A, we'll try our best to keep it fair. I'm going to go to Group A first for 3 questions, then I'll go to Group B for 3 questions, then Group C for 3 questions. So just be ready to ask them. But first of all, I want to introduce you to Bikini Body. We've got Kyle, who plays bass. We've got Vicky, who is the vocalist in the band. And then we've got Josh, who is the guitarist.
Hello.
And Dan, as I say, is not with us, but
He's not
dead. No, he's not dead. He's perfectly alive. So without further ado, I'm going to just start with Group A, and can I get your first question? First of all, can I ask you to keep muted unless you're actually talking, okay? So we keep our mics on mute, that would be brilliant. So Group A, can we have your first question, please, to the back? I can see you on the screen, so sorry, I'm maybe just going to point my finger at you to ask a question. Can you hear me, Annalise?
Oh, hey, sorry, my name cut out, so I missed it. First question would be, what were some of your favorite cartoons growing up?
That is an excellent question. I was obsessed with like all the like Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So like I think the Flintstones falls in that category, the Jetsons. I also was a huge Looney Tunes fan. I know you are as well, Kyle. Particularly like the older cartoons, but also Space Jam is amazing. I know that's one of your faves.
Yeah. I don't know if they have it in the UK, but I really liked Arthur growing up. Yeah. I watched that before school, even when I was a teenager, to feel happy.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
I was a big like CBBC guy, so Mona the Vampire, I think, was like
I love Mona the Vampire. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that. 64 Zoo Lane. Don't know if anyone's seen that. That was pretty good as well.
No idea.
What was that?
It's like there's like this. I think it's like a special door that this little girl gets to go through, called 64 Zoo Lane, and it like takes her into like this world that's just a zoo, and she goes on like lots of adventures. That was so fun. Yeah. Excellent.
Good question, Annalise. Can we get another question, please, from Group A? Teamwork, guys, come on, someone just speak. Question?
Yeah, I'll go for it then. I'll go for it. So we were going to say your band's called Bikini Body. If your band was a body, what type of body would it be? Like a dad bod, or like ripped or skinny or whatever?
Oh, that's a really good question. You know, we're just looking to be a somebody at the end of the day.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm going to leave it at that. No.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think it would be whatever body you want. I think we got our name from the Daily Mail, which is obsessed with everyone's bikini body and just everyone's body in general. And I think, the 4 of us are very like normal looking people, and I think that we're trying to say that the bikini body is anybody really, and maybe somebody one day.
Excellent. Okay, and your third question, Group A.
I can go next. What colour do you think represents you and your band well?
What colour?
Is that what colour?
What colour
Yeah,
represents you and your
represents us.
band well?
Ooh. That's quite
Thinking kind of
difficult.
like a slime, sludgy, slimy kind of vibe.
Something a bit grotty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too grotty though, just a bit of grot.
No, fun.
Fun
grotty.
grot.
Fun slime.
Fun slime.
That's great.
Yeah. Name of our next EP. No,
Yeah. I think kind of like a light blue comes to mind. I don't know why. You know? Like
no, where's the grot?
like Miami Vice.
Oh, okay,
You know?
Miami Vice.
Oh,
okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Maybe somewhere between a light blue, sludgy, slimy green colour. Do with that what you will. I think also purple as well. I like. That was what it was on our EP, Pond Life. That's a purpley.
Yeah, that's a nice
That
colour.
was sort of neon, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the artist that did that album cover listened to the music and came up with that color. So
Yes.
it was purple to CC.
She
so,
heard purple in our music.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting point, though, that listening to your music can conjure up colours. That's probably something these guys would be interested in doing. So would there be a specific track that you would like them to maybe listen to that would help them? You know, is there any specific track or just your whole collection of music as a whole?
Yeah, I think so. We sent the EP to our friend Cece, who's the artist that did our cover work, and she listened to the whole thing. I think the track that she said stood out to her was Late Bloomer. So I think that's probably where a lot of it kind of came from for her. But just listen to the whole thing. I think it's quite varied and see what colours come to mind. You know,
I feel like I mean they can't listen to it anyway, which is annoying. But Mani Sondelaire would
oh
be
yeah, that's true.
a good one.
What's
Yeah.
that, Josh?
Well, it's a song that's like it's very very repetitive, but with like tiny little changes throughout.
Oh yeah.
So it's, I guess if you were thinking of it in terms of like colour, it would be like a very kind of gradual shift.
Yeah.
And then
So gradient.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Mani Sondelaire. It's not something we've recorded, but you can find it on the latest live stream we did with Limbic TV.
Yeah,
it's
saw
on our
that.
Facebook page. Yeah, and that's good actually because there's a lot of like lights and colour in that anyway, so it might trigger something.
Excellent. Good question. Good question, Charlotte. Okay, right, off to Group B. Can we have the first question from Group B, please?
Oh. Tonya, I'm going to ask some of the questions because some of the students' mics aren't working. So, questions from my group are, what is your music's message, please?
Catch that.
Music's message.
1 second surrender.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I am going for with the lyrics is very personal. I usually write about stuff that has happened to me or it's resonated with me and popped into my head. I think you can tell from the lyrics there's a lot of musings on what it's like to be a woman and what it's like to be a woman in, you know, situations where maybe you've like gone on a night out or you're dealing with a relationship or, you know, a one-night stand or something. It's all kind of drawn from those experiences. I get a lot of inspiration from Instagram as well. Accounts like Beam Me Up Soft Boy. I don't know if anyone follows that, but I love that. It really like resonates with me. So I guess the message is like just to put out what I think it's like to be a girl in those situations at the minute, with, you know, a touch of maybe broader kind of political themes and trying to have a bit of a comment.
Good. Yeah, good. Great. Number 2,
Tonya,
Debbie.
you want next? Oh.
Number 2,
You want the
question
next
number
one?
2.
Number 2. Okay, number 2 coming up. Who are some of your influences?
Go for it, Kyle.
Well, I think you and I, when we were talking about starting the band, kind of bonded over kind of some of the older kind of post-punk sort of no-wave stuff, I guess, like the Slits or who else do we bond over? Like,
we were both reading Simon Reynolds' post-punk book, Rip It Up and Start Again, at the time that we were kind of talking about starting a band, and it was bands like the Slits, Bush Tetras, ESG, Gang of Four, bands like that we were Liquid, just trying to sort of put together something that kind of felt like that, but obviously was very much for this time, not trying to recreate something from like the 70s, 80s, but just taking inspiration from that. Yeah.
Great bands.
Great. Thanks for that. And the last question just now is, how did your group come together?
Yes, a good question. So Kyle and I worked together and became pals, and we bonded over a sort of love of music. There was actually like a little music club at work, and we started like noticing that we were kind of posting the same stuff and kind of swapping music. And then I think on one of our evenings out for a drink, was quite drunk and decided to show him some of my poetry that I was writing at the time. And I was like, I'm just going to show it to him, whatever, see how it goes. And then he was like, we should definitely start a band, because he plays bass, obviously. And then, tell us how we found Josh and Dan.
I put an ad on this weird website called like findmyband.co.uk, which is, I'd had ads up on there since I moved to the UK like 2 years ago, and it wasn't really finding much promise. Like most of the bands on there are like either like classic rock cover bands or like, I don't know, Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of music, which is fine, but just not really what I want to do. But then Dan, our drummer, after that meeting, sent an ad or a response like the next day, and it seemed kind of the exact kind of vibe we wanted, and then found Josh through Facebook, I think.
But you had another guitarist first, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, there was one guy that sent in, I think 25 videos of him playing Red Hot Chili Peppers songs, and so I had to let him down. So then we had Sweet Joe as well, the first guitarist.
Wait, you had another guitarist as well?
Well, we met with Sweet Joe.
Sweet Joe.
We call Sweet Joe because he was just such a sweet guy, and we felt really bad about cutting him off. But Josh just, just connected one.
Lucky Sweet Joe.
Yeah.
Sweet Josh.
Sweet Josh. Yeah. Josh isn't sweet. Josh is sour.
Josh.
Sour Josh.
Bitter.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Cheers, Debbie. Thanks for that. Off to Group C now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back to you shortly. Group C, can I have the first question from your group, please?
Hi. Just wondering if you've got any like albums or songs coming up, and what kind of message you guys will be giving off in the future ones. Like, are they going to be similar to ones that you've already come out with, or are you going to kind of change it up a bit and do something different?
No, it's good. So we're planning on recording a single in the new year, and we definitely will be bringing out an EP or an album at some point next year as well. If you follow us already, you might have heard the songs that we're planning to record. One of them is Daily Mail. So as you might have realised by now, I'm quite obsessed with the Daily Mail. Not in the like sort of way that, not that I kind of believe everything it says kind of way, but more just that it is just such a great place for inspiration. Like if I'm ever struggling to write a song, literally just go to the showbiz section, I will find something I can pick apart. So it was sort of a backhanded homage to the Daily Mail. And yeah, I think we are definitely like growing so much in terms of what we're doing. I don't think that any new song that we make sounds the same. we're very conscious of that. We really want to make sure that we're bringing something new each time we write a new song or do something new. So I think you'll hear I think a more refined sound, I think more interesting music as well, certainly more kind of, I guess, mature and wiser lyrics, I think.
Definitely more confident.
Much more confidence, yeah. And also just trying to branch out beyond the personal now, I guess. That was what I started with because that's really all I had to go on. But I think as we've grown more confident and I've been exposed to more music and more of this kind of world, I think I'm now spreading my reach out to sort of broader themes.
Yeah, I think the 2 tracks that we'll probably be releasing if things go to plan are Daily Mail and then another one called Young Dad.
Yeah.
And both those we did on the live stream we did recently. So,
yeah.
But those are probably the 2 that will come out next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Which would kind of be the next stage, I guess.
And was that the Limbic TV session? Yeah. Because that was quite a long session because it was an interview as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So guys, definitely worth watching. If you've not watched it yet, definitely you have to watch it. Good question, thank you. Can we have your second question, please, from Group B, C.
I was just wondering if you have a favorite song, genre.
Do you mean a drum roll in the song? A favorite song that has their favorite drum roll? Is that what you said there?
No, I mean a favorite genre.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. I feel like I'm the kind of person that my favorite genre changes on a daily basis. I think that the ones I'll always have love for will be post-punk, reggae and ska. I grew up listening to a lot of that. Yeah, I think just punk in general, that kind of thing. My dad also imparted a lot of pub rock from the 70s to me as well.
What's pub rock?
Pub rock is a kind of style of bluesy rock that came up through the many pubs of England, which my dad frequented as a young man. His favourite band, and an example of this, is the Feel Goods. If you are interested, check them out. It's not to everyone's taste, but that's definitely something I have a fondness for. And favourite song, I mean, the song I always come back to is the Slits cover of "Heard It Through the Grapevine" because I just love that song. Ari Up's scream in that just electrifies me every time I listen to it, and I can listen to it on repeat.
Yeah, brilliant track. Good question, Juno. Thank you. Third question from Group C, please.
Is there anything in particular that you want to achieve with your music and the message in it?
Anything in particular that you want to achieve, did you say?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really have any goals when we started playing, did we?
No, just be all right.
Yeah. It was just to play Sneaky Pete's.
Yeah, that was the big first goal. Yeah, we definitely. I think we are quietly ambitious. I think we want to get somewhere. We just want people to know who we are and like our music, and I guess have a response to it. And I think the Edinburgh scene is growing, and it's really supportive, and it's a really varied scene as well. So just being part of that is a huge achievement for us, and just continuing to kind of grow that scene together.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
We were just talking about this in the way over.
I think a little over a year now, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah,
but we were only together for 7 months before COVID, So we've actually been a band longer during COVID than not, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's been 8 months.
Wow,
Since
that's weird.
lockdown. So.
Yeah.
So from this perspective, I think that's what you're achieving so far is really good. It's great. So you're doing something right. Definitely right in my ears, but do you know what I mean? There's a space for you guys.
And I know we've been so lucky with just the support that we've been getting during all of this madness. I think we all were a bit worried about where our music would go because, you know, we released an EP and then we've not really been able to gig with it as much as we'd like. But we've had, you know, a really lovely steady trickle of people getting in touch, you know, such as yourselves. And we have got some potential gigs lined up for next year as well. So it's looking pretty good considering, which is amazing. We're so grateful for that.
A lot of that's Edinburgh. I think it's the city's so responsive to up and coming bands, which I wasn't used to from where I lived before.
There was definitely like a period where it felt like every gig we played led to something else.
Yeah.
Like someone would just get in touch or like come up to us afterwards and just
no, it's
offer
good.
something.
And Edinburgh definitely needs it as well, needs your sound. You know, Glasgow seems to be kind of at the forefront of, because it's a much bigger city, and you know, I just think, you know, I go searching for music quite a bit, so I like something and it's a Scottish band and I'll go, where are they from? Glasgow, and I've gone, so, you know, when a gem comes out of Edinburgh, I'm like stoked about that, absolutely stoked, right? Singing from the rooftops.
Yeah, absolutely.
But brilliant. Okay, can we get back to Group A, please? Another question, Group A.
Hiya. Have you got any favourite album arts? Or just a favourite band in general?
What's the first part of that question, Alexis?
Have you got any favourite album arts?
Album artwork.
Yeah, we were actually just brainstorming this in the cab on the way over because we thought this might come up.
I think of like current artists whose album art catches my eye is I really like this band called Squid's artwork, and Parquet Courts also they always have really cool album covers, I think, and kind of the art style they go for.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'm a big like sludge metal fan, and there's this band called Sleep, and they have an album called Dope Smoker, and that's got like a real kind of epic album cover, just sort of mythical creatures and stuff.
Okay,
nice. I think I am a big fan of, I mean, I know I've talked about it to death, but I love the Slits. The cover of Cut is amazing. I also really like Lilliput's album cover for their, I can't remember the name of the album. They're also called Kleenex. It was like a dispute over their name, but I really like that album artwork as well.
Good question, Alexis. Can we have another question from Group A, please?
Is there a particular style of art that you identify with?
Style of art that you identify with?
Oh. I mean, I don't know if it's like a style of art per se, but I really love Keith Haring's artwork. I just love like the frenetic energy of it, and the fact that it coincides with a particular time in New York music that I find really interesting. So, you know, he hung out with the likes of Arthur Russell, and you know, they were going to places like Danceteria and Paradise Garage, and I absolutely love that whole era of music. So for me, that's kind of my, someone I'm really into at the moment.
Cool. What about yourself, Kyle?
I can't think.
Are you a Matisse?
I'm maybe a little nervous thinking of an answer to this question to people that know a lot more about art than I do. What about you, Josh?
I'm trying to think of like, I definitely respond a lot to like animation and film and stuff. I'm trying to think of like a really good.
Yeah.
Good. They can ponder over that one, which
Yeah,
is great.
that's a
question,
tough one.
Callum. I think we're on our third question from Group A. Question, please.
I can go next. Like, as a band, do you have a particular attitude or feeling? Like, are you quite an upbeat band, or do you have a slightly more cynical attitude?
Well, you said self-deprecating.
Yeah, I think self-deprecating is a good way to describe us.
We constantly have to remind each other, like, we'll just constantly say that we're like sort of shit, and no, Josh, you're really good. We're just constantly like trying to bring each other up because we're always thinking that we're all stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, it kind of feeds into the lyrics. Like I'm always trying to take a poke at myself as much as I'm taking a poke at whoever it is that I've decided is worthy of a poke. Oh, that sounded sexual. Wow. Okay. So, you know, I think the song "So Posh" is a perfect example of that. Like, I'm fully aware of my background and my accent. I'm fully aware of the fact that posh people are very silly. And that's, you know, as well as taking a poke at them, I'm also taking a poke at myself. And I think that's the main sort of ethos that we have, is always with a wry smile, you know.
Brilliant.
But we don't really, like, none of our songs are very, like, serious.
No. I'm not capable of being serious.
Yeah. Like, I think we would definitely struggle to do like a cool photo shoot.
Yeah, no brooding band.
Yeah, we really struggle to
photo
not
shoot.
laugh and stuff. I think,
yeah, we do have a really good time. You know, practice is always like just full of hilarious chat and burps.
Good question, Josh. Okay, we're on to Group B again. Second session, Group B. Can I get a question from you guys?
Hello, Tonya and band. It's me again. I would like to ask, as you say you're a feminist punk band, what are your views on feminism and the music industry in relation to it?
That's a serious question.
Yes. To feminism. Yeah, so we've definitely been described as a feminist punk band. It's not a label I would give to us myself, because I don't think we're setting out to be a feminist punk band. I myself am a feminist. I'm a woman. I have lived experiences that lots of other women share. So it's almost like it will just be feminist, I guess, in the very way that I'm like writing and delivering it, I'm not sort of setting out with that kind of agenda, I guess. I'm just sort of highlighting, you know, what people go through on a daily basis, or certainly I go through, and I think a lot of people share those experiences. My thoughts on feminism and the music industry, I mean, I think we all know that the music industry has a problem with how women are treated. You know, I think we've all heard stories, I'm sure, about like harassment and you know, assault and things like that, right up to the very top. You know, it's not just kind of the lower levels that suffer from this. There's been a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on in Glasgow that I've been following over the past few months. The Glasgow Accountability Network, I think it's called, did, you know, a big expose on kind of a lot of stuff that's going on over there.
That was crazy.
So that's been like a big kind of thing. It's very close to home. You know, some of the venues that were mentioned in that we've played at or considered playing at. So that's kind of interesting for us. And I think, you know, I think it's really important that we just make sure that everybody's voice is amplified, whether you're a woman, you're cis, you're trans, you're non-binary. You know, everybody has to be lifted up at the same time if this is going to become a more diverse and accepting industry.
Great answer. Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah, thank you. The next one is, let me have a look. The other one was, is there any upcoming Scottish bands that you take inspiration from?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we think that, well, there's certainly so many great Scottish bands who are up and coming right now that we absolutely love and have been lucky enough to play with in some cases. So, you know, Casual Drag from Edinburgh. We've played with Gelatin as well. We think they're great. And then I think from further afield, there's Goth Girlfriend, who are amazing as well.
I think that the band Kaput from Glasgow is one of my favorite bands. Like, period, they're so good.
Yep. Yeah. So, you know, some that are a bit further ahead of us are definitely giving us a lot of inspiration. You know, Walt Disco.
Brilliant.
I think are doing so well right now, and that's really cool. Medicine Cabinet also are amazing, really talented, and I just love the sort of harking back to like the sort of 80s glam vibes. It's just amazing. Stylish. The style is incredible. Combined with like real musical talent is just awesome. Yeah.
Deep Sea Diver in Edinburgh.
Deep Sea Diver.
Not Deep Sea.
Deep Sea Creature. Sorry, yeah.
Deep Sea Diver's a different
yeah. There's so many. It's like I'm sure we've left people out, and apologies for that.
Great choices though. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Debbie. Number 3.
Number three. I think you've had the name a band or song that you would say is your favourite of all time. We've covered that, haven't we?
I've got the list here. I can ask a question if you want.
Who is your target audience?
I don't know if we have a target audience.
Yeah, anyone that'll listen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you know, we wanted to make music that would appeal to Edinburgh and the scene here, because that was one of the achievements that we were kind of looking towards, is to break into that scene and help build it. So we obviously wanted to make music that was appropriate for time and place and people that live here and enjoy music.
I guess it's a bit of a cliche, but like I sort of feel like our target audience is us.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
It's just fun music.
Yeah.
To do.
We do. We want to make music that we like, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Okay, Group C.
Hi. I would like to do a question. So, if you have to figure it out a cover image of your band, would you like to see yourself in an illustration, a photo montage, or like a handmade drawings or something like that? What would you like? What kind of cover would you like?
Can we just repeat that question just a little bit slower?
Yeah, sorry. So, if you have to figure it out a cover image of your band, would you like to have an illustration of yourself, like a cartoon image of yourself, or a photo montage with bikini and muscles, or something else?
I still didn't get the first part of that question. Did anybody get the first part of that question?
Was it cover image?
A cover image.
Or was it? Or a collage, okay.
A collage image, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Was that a collage image mentioned?
There was something about photo montage.
What she's asking is that if you want like your album cover or your like, you know, your band's photo to be something, what would you want it to be? Like, what colors would you want in there? Would you like an illustration of yourself or a collage? You know, how would you like to style your cover photo, basically?
Thank you.
No worries.
I was just thinking, so I think you mentioned like some kind of like bikini muscles type thing. I definitely love the idea of like Muscle Beach and doing something with that. Not that any of us qualify for actually posing for that. Kyle's been there, but I'm kind of thinking something like, you know, like is it called like claymation, where you have like little clay characters? I'm thinking maybe you could have like our faces, but make us really like hench, and then we could be like arranged on Muscle Beach, and it could have like little clay trees and clay sunshine and yeah.
Is that from the exhibit that we went to?
Yeah, I went to an exhibition at the MoMA on Sunday that was for Ray Harryhausen, the sort of godfather of stop motion animation. So maybe that's on my mind. But yeah,
possibly. Yeah. Good question. We're multi-international here. Thanks for that. Second question from Group C, please.
So who's going?
Go on, Charles. Go for it.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, cool. So like when you were younger, did you ever think that you would go into art? No, music. You're music people. Sorry. Did you ever think you'd go into music, or is this something that's like a more gradual process for you? Like what prompted the whole actually going into it as a thing?
Yeah, so I think the story is different across the band. Personally, I have never been in a band before. The only musical kind of accolade I hold to my name is that I hold grade 8 in recorder. Ooh. I know. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty good.
I know, I can't play it anymore either, so it's completely useless. But yeah, just last year I kind of started like putting down some thoughts on paper that kind of turned into little random poems. And it was really just like Kyle's encouragement that actually moved that from just bedroom musings to a proper band. Yeah, so that's me, but what about you?
Yeah, I think mine was, when I was like 10, probably saw like, to bring it back to Red Hot Chili Peppers, I saw like Flea slap a bass, and I was like, whoa, I gotta slap a bass, that'll be cool.
Your life change.
That was probably my beginnings, but it's weird because you weren't, and then I think Josh and Dan also played in bands growing up and stuff, but now I'd say that Vicky's probably like the fastest in practice at actually like creating things, which is funny because we've all played before, but you kind of do drive the creative process now, even though it's your first band, which is interesting.
Yeah, a bit weird. Bit of an idiot savant, I think.
Maybe you're just a natural. Just talking about styles of writing your music, you say, do you write is everything come out in a poem first, and then, or do you know, everyone has a different style of writing their lyrics.
Yeah, so it's like I will just write down, how I kind of start something is I will have written down something that I think is funny. I'm the kind of person that laughs very much at my own jokes. So something will come into my brain, I'll be like, hilarious, write that down. And then I'll couple that with kind of phrases that I've heard from telly or the Mail.
Yes.
Or, you know, just maybe I've overheard a conversation, like the eavesdropper I am, and I've heard something good. So I'll just shovel that down, and then that will form into a bit of a poem. And then when we get into practice, I'll just sort of ask the guys to start sort of playing, and then I just sort of speak over it really until it sounds like a song. And then we sort of wrangle it together into some kind of structure, because it starts off very like stream of consciousness really.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I find all that fascinating. Yeah, talking about eavesdropping, I was in the post office, changing the subject just for a second, and I heard this guy say to this girl, "Don't you worry, hen, I'll take the earwax out of him." And I was thinking, what on earth? Do you know what I mean? Just to think of things like that.
There's some gold out there, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
Other people's conversations is a gold mine.
Mental. Sorry, Kyle, you were going to say something about writing styles.
Yeah, I think that usually it'll start with Josh or I will bring in some riff that we've thought of and then just play it over and over until it becomes sort of a song, and then you're really good at like picking which of your lyrics to match to it, I think, and then usually that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I love all that. Okay, brilliant question. So the third question from Group C, please.
Hi, if you could just use only adjectives to describe your music and your music writing process, that would be very helpful to hear from me.
Writing process or
music.
Music.
What was the question, sorry?
What adjectives would we use to describe our music? Okay. I think we've already said self-deprecating. Yeah. I think that's an important one.
Spiky.
Spiky. Spiky. Sludgy. Messy.
Stewed.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
Big stew.
What else? I think jaunty. You know, it's got a jaunty vibe.
I quite like that word.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, I think we said grotty.
Grotty, yeah. Painting a great picture here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of furrowed
and
brows
slime,
on the
and that slime colour. Jeez. Okay, we're back to Group A.
What are your fashion choices while performing?
Speaking.
What are your fashion choices while performing?
Sorry, there's a bit distorted.
I think she's saying, what are your fashion choices when performing?
Fashion choices when performing.
Yeah, it's a
bikinis, of course.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we've never worn a bikini on stage.
I wonder if that's ever going to happen. 'Cause loads of people do ask for that.
They do, yeah.
Oh no.
Fashion choices. Well, like I was saying earlier, my sort of taste in music changes daily, and that's definitely the same with my clothing. I feel like however I'm feeling that day is what I'll usually wear on stage. What have we done? I've worn like a bright pink suit before.
Nice.
But I'll also sometimes just wear like a band t-shirt and like jeans. Depends on whether I'm feeling like ostentatious or not. It's a really tough thing to choose though, because you don't realize until you get on stage how different your clothes look when you come under lighting. Something that you think looks quite cool when you get up there can be like completely washed out. So you're just like, great, well, might as well have just been wearing like, I don't know, just like really boring clothes. But yeah, so it's hard to choose. And then, I don't know, the boys are a bit of a mix. What's your vibe?
I don't know, it's just sort of normal clothes.
But do you as men think about that? Does it come into your head? Because I think with females it's a big deal sometimes, but for guys, you know, I've seen many a gig and the guy's just up there with his t-shirt and jeans, and I mean it's pretty drab sometimes, the t-shirt and jeans that they've chosen. And often do think, why could you not just put something a little bit groovier on?
Interesting.
Because your music's fantastic.
Yeah. I do prefer to wear things that are maybe slightly louder than what I'd wear at work. Just like if I wore it to work, someone would probably make fun of me, you know? Like, it's a good opportunity to wear things like that.
Yeah. Plus, I think probably maybe the genre of music or the style of music and your influences probably reflect maybe the style of clothes that you might wear, because you know, if I think back to the bands you use as influences, I think, you know, they're quite cool and just very individual and just relaxed vibe about them, which is really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think we want everybody in the band to retain their individuality. For me, I love clothes, I love fashion, I love like wearing bonkers outfits on some days, but then, you know, not all the time, but so that's something that, you know, I like to do, and I think, you know, the three others also, like, I think they have their own style, and it's, you know, we do retain that individuality.
I kind of like when you go see like some really heavy punk band, but the singer just looks like someone's like English teacher.
Yeah.
They're just kind of going
definitely. That kind of eccentric style.
Yeah.
But do you feel that there's a pressure, being like a lead vocalist, do you feel pressure in any way to maybe have a certain appearance on stage, or do you think your audience are looking for that?
I don't feel so much pressure on my appearance as I do on my presence on stage. I feel like I'm not really the kind of person that's gonna like jump into the crowd and crowd surf. I do get a bit nervous on stage still. I you know, sometimes I'm not always like super happy with my banter, and I look at other bands who are like way more confident, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was like that. So it's more like, it's more about, you know, the presence that I have and making sure it's a really, really fun gig for everybody, that I feel on my shoulders a lot. The clothes thing is like, I've never really cared what anyone thinks about the way I dress, so that doesn't bother me too much. However, I am very vain, and if I look crap in a photo, I will get very annoyed with myself. So I think it's me that puts like the pressure on appearance-wise.
It's crazy, isn't it? But I do love that suit. I've seen the suit. It's a great suit.
Thanks.
Brilliant question. Okay, we're still in Group A.
What artist or band would you most like to collaborate with?
Oh my goodness. Such a hard question.
Alt disco would be great.
Maybe we should do an old and new, like a current band and an old band maybe.
Yeah.
Just put that idea out there. I don't have. Let me see.
I'd like to meet James Murphy from LCD Sound System, and then learn how he makes those grooves.
Yeah, he's really cool because he came to being in a band a lot later, I think, than most artists. So I definitely find him very. I mean, he also like was a very big part of the music scene and ran a music label. So it's not like me who was doing nothing. But I do like that he kind of came to it a bit later and sort of started to make music a bit later.
And it would be cool to work with Speedy Wonderground in London, because a lot of bands that they work with are very inspirational, I'd say.
Yeah, so that's a label run by Dan Carey, for those that don't know, and they have a very particular way of recording. So they'll get a band in for like a 12-hour stint, and the rule is like you have to have the recording done by the end of the 12 hours. So we would love to do that, because I think that, well, we all think they put out like really, really cool music and a really interesting sound because of that 12-hour kind of time frame.
I'm not sure what actual bands to collaborate with. I've never really thought about.
Did they say bands or artists?
Both.
Both.
Both. I think I don't know if this is a particular artist or band, but I think we're all quite keen on getting like maybe like some brass or some keys into our sound.
Saxophone.
So we'd love to get like a sax player to come and do some stuff with us, or someone on the keys. I think, well, you're actually maybe coming up in the key department.
Keyboards would sound amazing.
That also sounded like a drug reference. I gotta stop with these references.
Good question. And the last question from Group A.
I can go if no one else wants to. Oh, someone else. What are your pet peeves with album artwork? Anything you specifically don't want?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Sorry. What are your pet peeves with album and promotional artwork? Is there anything you specifically don't want to see?
I think for me, like, not really. I really like it when an artist can just do whatever you want, like whatever feels right, personally. But I don't know.
I think I don't really want. I think, you know, naturally where what the band is, you know, as we've talked about, there's a sort of feminist angle, a bit of a political thing, a bit of the personal as well. I don't really like too on the nose kind of artwork, like politically. You know, I think that the thing about us is we like to be sort of allowing people to draw their own conclusions about stuff and not be like, I don't know, is the word like agitprop or something, just like propaganda. I don't really like kind of really on the nose like political artwork. I don't think it would fit with our vibe. But I totally agree with Kyle. I think, you know, if you're coming up with something, we want to see how you respond to our music, basically. And I generally think that your gut instinct is never wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, we're not like particularly precious about it, really, are we?
No.
But definitely, like, in terms of a pet peeve, just not like, I hate it when an album artwork is just like a picture of the band.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's what they look like.
Yeah. We really want to support local artists as well as the local music scene as well. So we want like whatever comes from your brain, not just like you said, like a picture of our ugly bugs. So
no one wants to see that.
Good, guys, I'm just getting a message from the techie crew, just that if we get 3 questions from group B next, and then 3 from group C, and then we'll round it up after that. But I've got all the questions here, which I can give over to the bands to peruse through, and, you know, if it's okay with you guys, if they if any of the students wants to get in touch with you, can fire a question off on the Facebook? Is that the best place to get you?
Yeah, please do.
So, you know, there'll be opportunities to get more questions answered. It's just that we're running, like, we're nearly been here an hour, so we just do group B and group C, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? So let's go to group B for your 3 questions, please.
Do you promote your band on social media platforms? If so, what do you use?
Yep, we are on. We're on Instagram. Today we are actually doing an Instagram takeover for Edinburgh music lovers. It's at We Are EML. So we'll be doing. I think we've been doing some stories with some assistance from Fresh Produce today of the Q&A, and we'll be doing more posts later about who we are, what we do, probably some silly bants as well, and highlighting a couple of sort of charities and organisations that we're big fans of. We're on Facebook as well, Twitter. We're probably most active on Instagram and Facebook, I would say. We are on TikTok as well. Well, we're not, but our music is on TikTok, and that has bred some very strange videos.
Yeah, some like
that's surreal.
Like this 12-year-old kid in like somewhere in England did a So Posh TikTok that was so weird to watch.
Yeah, and particularly it was a part of the song where there was a swear word, and I was just like,
oh God,
this is not what I envisioned.
Wow. Cool, thanks Debbie. Number 2?
Number 2, the music industry has been heavily affected by the global pandemic. Has it affected your music or lyrics?
I think my initial reaction to lockdown and this whole situation was that I didn't really want to acknowledge it in our lyrics. I don't really want to put like a timestamp on our songs. So I didn't particularly want to write like a lockdown song or that kind of thing. I have started weaving in sort of hints to lockdown when we perform some of our songs live. So I'll mention like quarantine and things like that, but yeah, I think we've tried to keep it. I don't know. I'm speaking for myself here, but I think we've tried to keep it out of our music because the music is like a nice place where we get to forget about COVID happening, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess it's affected it in a way that like there's no gigs, so it's the only way we can play the music is practicing, which is like obviously really different to playing a gig. But I feel like it's definitely sort of having all that time to practice has made us has helped to make us more creative.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
more sort of experimental.
Yeah, I feel like weirdly it seemed to make the music when we'd come back and started practicing more like, I don't know the word is like dancey, maybe because we were so desperate to like have a good time again. Like there's a lot of kind of like more disco going on, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool, Debbie. And your final question?
Are there any more unusual genres of music that you'd like to experiment with? Say classical or acid, or I don't know, something that's more extremely different from what you're doing just now?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily an unusual genre in itself, but it's certainly quite foreign to us as a band. But I am on a one-woman mission to try and turn us into a dub band, and it's not going very well. I keep saying to Kyle, like, just try and play this dub bass line, just try, please. So I would love to, I mean, my other dream is that I'll one day have some kind of grasp of something like Ableton and be able to make dub versions of some of our tracks, but I tried to do that on my own like a couple of weeks ago, and it got to the point where I was literally following a YouTube video, which was quite a depressing state of affairs. So that one's pending, I think.
Brilliant.
What about you guys?
We sort of have like, because we played a gig just outside on Leith Walk, and obviously we couldn't do that with Dan, the drummer, because it would be a bit too noisy. So we tried to bring in a sort of drum track and bits of like samples and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was really fun to bring in some more kind of electronic stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a little bit more electronic with it.
Yeah.
Bring in some synth or something.
Yeah, nice.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Debbie. Group C, please.
I was just wondering, like, where do you like see yourself in 5 years? I know that you were gonna make some singles, but like 5 years is further on, so.
Yeah, I think you know, ideally we would be fairly well known. You know, we'd be maybe touring quite regularly and doing festivals, and just, I mean, the thing we love the most is gigs, so just gigging a whole lot, you know, having put out quite a bit of music, getting to work with, you know, more and more people, breadth of people, expanding to other areas, not just Edinburgh. That's kind of on.
I'd love to play some shows like in Europe or somewhere like that.
America, yeah, we'll break the States.
Yeah,
I don't know. But we should buy a nightclub.
Yeah, buy a nightclub maybe. I don't think any of us are necessarily thinking that we'll give up our day jobs anytime soon. I think we enjoy having band plus work, but that may change. Who knows?
If we did buy a nightclub, Kyle, what would we call it?
Do you want to tell them about your idea that you had on Sunday?
Oh no!
So you know the Britannia Hotel next to the MoMA. You probably don't. Why would you know that? It's like this really old hotel, and Kyle was saying we could turn that into a club because there's like no houses around it.
Yes.
And call it Hotel. And then there was chat about maybe like opening up the rooms to people. I was like, that's going to get very messy very quickly, so maybe just keep it to a club.
That's pretty cool.
I like your idea. Okay, thanks, Juno. Second question, Group C.
How do you want people to feel when listening to your music?
I think that you want them to boogie.
Yes, definitely.
Boogie is important. We want people to have a little dance. I also want people to laugh. I always write with, my rule is like, whenever I write something, just like insert 10% comedy, I'd say. So make people laugh, make people dance. Make people maybe sort of go like, Yeah, like that. You know, it's like, yes, been there.
Oh, that's a dance move in itself. Good question. Final question, please, Group C.
What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for your music career?
I mean, probably what we do.
Yes,
already.
desk job.
We're all corporate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we all have like 9 to 5 day jobs, so I wouldn't even say that we really have started a music career officially yet.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think we're a profitable band yet.
No, definitely not.
I think we probably made like £100 a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Spent a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you can't be in it for the money, can you?
No.
You can't.
It'd probably be much the same, just I'd be a lot sadder.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's very true. I definitely didn't have like a regular kind of interest that I was indulging other than just like going out with mates. So I think, you know, I would just be working and it wouldn't be as fun. It's definitely a really good release.
Yeah, great.
Especially now when there's like nothing to do.
Now. Yeah.
So guys, that's all our time for questions. So we're creating an image for Bikini Body, and that image, you know, Bikini Body will be choosing a first, second and third prize, which we will have the prize, we will have the prizes, but they will judge first, second and third, and you know, Bikini Body will see a selection of square images which can be used as an Instagram, or it can be used as a vinyl cover, or anything that you can use to promote your music if you do wish so. So is there anything that you feel that we've kind of maybe missed that you might want to tell the guys that you're maybe interested in having in amongst their images? Anything you'd like to see incorporated?
I think, like we said, we're really keen just to see what's inside your brains. So just, you know, don't think too much about, you know, what we want, and just allow it to flow freely. And I'm sure you'll come up with stuff that will be incredible and really imaginative, and we're so excited to see what you come up with.
It's true. It could be like a logo or an icon too. Anything.
Yeah,
Right,
that's a good point actually, Kyle. Because do you actually have a logo? I don't think you do.
No, we don't. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I don't think any of us have like design capabilities or anything like that. I mean, I might be wrong there, but yeah. So you know, logo, typeface, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
we don't really have any of that.
Or a cover, whatever.
Or
comes to mind,
album artwork as well. We're looking for.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes when you're doing your image, guys, there's nothing saying you're not doing a logo on the side, as well as doing your square image that you may be thinking more creatively for the potential of a sleeve. But you could be doing a separate thing if you can allow yourself the time to do a logo. We'll also be doing a time-based element. So hopefully we'll have pick up the information you've been given today, and that you'll get further and through your own research is basing your time-based element with all the information geared towards Bikini Body. So there'll be lots of things to see at the end of this.
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll be fascinating, fascinating. So, well, guys, thank you so much for your questions. It's been great. Bikini Body, a nice thank you for Bikini Body. No, thank you. And the techie crew all around us. Fantastic job. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.